And welcome back to SpiffyNeedleGeeks, discussing more Steven Universe summer marathon stuff with Brawlfan 1, Supersonic 407, and Rashetsu Rises. And here we are on the episode of Drop Beat Dad. So, I'm just gonna state it right now. Who else thought that Marty looks like a fucking Simpsons character?
Yeah, no, you are not off base with that. I look at him, and the first thing I think of is like Mr. Burns.
Yeah, it's like you look like a distant relative of Mr. Burns.
Sour cream, release the hounds.
Gods.
So, let alone, in all honesty, I mean, I was expecting Marty to come back. I honestly was not expecting him to come back so soon. I figured they would have saved him for way, way later.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of appropriate for him to come back now, at the very least. Like, I think we have had plenty of time to establish, because this is the first time we've seen him since that flashback.
I know, but still.
Yeah, plus on top of that, this is also the first time when Sour Cream, like, we actually get to see Sour Cream and his dad actually, interacting with each other.
Yeah, because it's like everyone pretty much assumed that Marty was Sour Cream's father, because obviously, we knew that Yellowtail was Sour Cream's stepfather, not his real father. Plus, in that flashback, we saw that, like, not too subtly, Marty clearly knocked up Vidalia. So.
Yeah.
But needless to say, I do find this episode interesting, because this is like one of the few episodes where we see Steven interacting with somebody that he clearly just does not trust. Because this is what I find funny with this show. If Steven doesn't trust you, that's it. There's no redeeming you. You're done. Mm-hmm. You're just an awful character. Because hell, like look back at like Peridot or Lapis, two gems that have tried to kill him, but he was never scared of them once. He always wanted to like talk with them and be friends with them, and that was it. Marty shows up. Steven's ready to fight.
Yeah.
No worries, I'll protect you, Dad.
Pretty much, yeah. But even then, it also kind of shows that even though he really doesn't care for Marty and everything, he still went out of his way to try and help Marty and Sour Cream, even if it was just solely because it was for Sour Cream. Yeah. I mean, that's clearly why he was doing it. It wasn't for Marty, it was to help Sour Cream.
Yeah, because Steven and Sour Cream, they're tight. They're bros, so.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, it's like Steven's tight with all the cool kids.
Yep, because he is a cool kid.
Yeah.
All that, too. Yes.
It's like, I do like how this actually is more subtly another episode that actually does delve more into Steven's powers, because like he's super strong now. He's picking up shit that usually need two full-grown men to pick up.
Yeah, and he's picking it up with like one arm and just slinging it over his shoulder. I think like even Marty commented it was like, "What is Greg feeding that kid?"
Yeah.
But like, I do like a lot of the subtle just a lot of the subtle nods this episode had, because like definitely the moral of this episode was the idea was like, there's biology and then there's actual heart, because it's like Marty may be his real father, but Sour Cream is, let me rephrase that, Marty may be Sour Cream's real father, but Yellowtail is the true father here.
Yeah,
because like if you look at the subtle hintings in the beginning, like Marty shows up, Sour Cream goes in for a hug. Instead, what does Marty do? Gives him a handshake instead. Then at the end, when Yellowtail finally lets Marty, fucking names. When Yellowtail finally lets Sour Cream do his DJing thing, like Sour Cream wanted, Sour Cream tried to go for a handshake. What does Yellowtail do? Give him a hug.
Yeah, it's like Yellowtail clearly number one dad here.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to say, it's like and this whole thing where, like, like, Marty, I mean, it's like, we knew he was a douchebag from the beginning, like, because we've known that since he was introduced. I mean, he pretty much was just using Greg for his musical talent and everything, because, shitty manager and all. So it's like, and it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it shouldn't be so much of a surprise to see that his douchebaggery is still in full swing even now. But it's like, I think when you compare the two, like, between, like, what he did to Greg versus what he does to Sour Cream, it's like, it just feels so much worse with sour cream because now you're dicking over your own kid.
Who you haven't seen in 9 years.
Yeah, that's
exactly,
like, dude, that's like, wow, dude. Talk about, I mean, I shouldn't be so surprised because he's already gone low, but wow, man, talk about low.
And you know what? It really is another thing that you don't see in a lot of cartoons. Like, you do see a lot though, like, you know, the dad who's just a horrible dad to their kid, and there's a reason why they weren't around. But you never really see the angle, like, how was I gonna put this? I guess you never really see that other angle though, where when there is another parent involved, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. I had a train going there, but it stopped. Shit.
That's okay. But
like,
yeah,
you can probably word it better than I was. Like, do you get what I'm saying though? Like,
you're getting multiple perspectives because usually in a situation like this, you usually either see like from the parents' perspective or more so the kid's perspective, and it's just like, you know, the real kid's parent and everything. You rarely ever get the step parent is the afterthought. That's not really the case in this episode. I mean, Yellowtail has just as much of an importance as Marty does, even though Yellowtail's barely in the episode.
Yeah. I do gotta ask though, guac cola.
Like, oh my god, that sounds so gross.
I think that was probably the point.
Not from concentrate.
You know what? That probably did.
that fucking killed me.
No, you know what? I think this episode did have one of my favorite Ronaldo jokes, where he just pulls this random like bowl of chips over here, pours the guac cola over it. Oh, it's not even good on chips. What the fuck?
Oh god, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that line right that you mentioned, Ryan, where like Steven drinks and he's like, what? Then he looks and it says it's from concentrate, and it's like that just cracks me up if anything. But
from concentrate.
Yeah, it's like, you know, considering that I work with like, you know, fresh juices and shit at the bakery that I work at. That's like if we ever need like lemon juice, like 9 times out of 10, we're always going to go for the fresh squeezed. We rarely ever go from, like, lemon juice from concentrates. You know,
yeah.
we only go for that if we're, like, fresh out of lemons, because we're not the only ones that use it. We also have prep foods that uses it too.
I guess,
but
please
it's like,
remind me real quick, what exactly is concentrate again? Like,
concentrate is more so, like, it's more so, like, you're getting the flavor. It's not so much the actual juice.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's just more so like, you know, the mixture of the liquids, and it's just kind of like absorbing the flavor. So
artificial,
it's not,
I guess.
Yeah, it's artificial. It's not the same thing as like freshly squeezing an orange.
How do you get artificial guacamole?
I'm not quite sure, because my first guess would be you must puree the ever-loving fuck out of it, but... Yeah, man, if you're getting concentrate out of that, it's like, oh, yeah, how would you get that flavor out of avocado?
Yeah, no kidding.
Avocado is, yeah, you guys have eaten guacamole, or you've at least had, like, maybe avocado slices on a sandwich or a salad or something. I mean, it's like, it's nothing like a fruit or something where you can squeeze out juice. I mean, you're eating the freaking pulp out of it, so it's like...
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, oh yeah, what a great idea for a new fucking soda. It's like, okay, yeah, add 3 different kinds of avocados, but yeah, just add more salt to the wound and just make it from concentrate.
My only guess is I can think of is, like, you know, because, like, when you look at some things like extracts, like vanilla extract, for example.
Yeah.
If you actually, like, cut open and split a vanilla bean, like, I can tell you this, like, with experience from baking and everything, I mean, of course, it's always better to use, like, fresh, vanilla bean, be it, like, scraping the beans from the pod itself, or if you're gonna, like, you know... If you're going to make, like, creme brulee, for example, we also, we boil the pods themselves into the milk to extract the flavor from the pod, and then we strain it out. So it's like, of course it's better to use the fresh pod, but if you can't, then that's when people go for extract, and the way they get that vanilla flavor is, I shit you not, they just submerge it in alcohol. and that's what extracts the flavor. So am I to understand that to getting some kind of an equivalent of a concentrate from avocado, they just dumped avocado and alcohol to get that flavor?
No, Steven! Marty, you monster! You ruined Steven's innocence by giving him his first alcoholic beverage.
No.
Actually,
I mean, it's like, I love avocado. I enjoy soda, but mixing the two together, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, not a good combination at
Yeah,
all.
this isn't Reese's peanut butter cups. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
So now I guess moving back on to the actual episode on topic. Like,
Yeah.
here's something that's actually been bugging me the most about it. Like, towards the beginning, obviously, we know the whole reason why Marty came to Beach City was to give Greg that check that we see at the end of the episode. But like the way Marty presented himself at the beginning of the episode before Sour Cream came out of the picture, I don't know. What's the proper way to describe Marty's, his attitude towards Greg there? Because it looked like, I don't know. How would you describe that attitude?
To me, it looked like Marty was still trying to play it cool and everything, because, I mean, it wasn't until, like, that whole guacola thing was when he pretty much said, like, he is struggling. So it's like, to me, like, when he first saw Greg, he was probably just playing it cool, like, oh, yeah, I'm still hot, I'm still successful and all that other shit, but, obviously he's here for a reason. He was here, because he owed Greg some money. So, to me, it looked like, as reluctant as he may have been because, he's giving Greg a fuck ton of money, he was still trying to play it cool because, he does pride his image more than anything else.
That's true.
Right.
And then he only really stayed because he saw Sour Cream, and then he took interest in the idea that Sour Cream could possibly add some flair to his little advertisement gig.
Yeah.
Right.
But oh well, I guess... Anyway, I guess any final thoughts besides the fact that Marty is an absolutely horrible person?
Greg is filthy rich now.
Yes. And I guess we'll be getting into how Greg decides to start spending that money next time, and Mr. Greg. We'll see you all then.